Well, good evening. This is News Night. I'm Josephine Oppong-Yeboah. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, President-elect Nana to the Eastern region, assuring the people that he will not fail on his promises. Road accident claimed more than 140 lives in just 2 days on the eve of Christmas and on Christmas Day itself. Government donates an amount of 200,000 Ghana cedis and pharmaceutical products to victims of last Thursday's explosion at La in Accra. In business news, Ghana's producer price inflation for November 2016 reached 11.9% from the 9.7% recorded in October. Russian President Vladimir Putin says an agreement has been reached on a countryside ceasefire for Syria, with Russia and Turkey to act as guarantors. Thank you for your time on News Night. This program is also available on DSTV channel 277. Coming up, President-elect Nana Akufo-Addo has expressed his appreciation to the people of Eastern region for their support towards the NPP's victory in the December elections. He said the people of Kroboland showed love for the party and made history when the party won a seat in Kroboland for the first time in 24 years of Ghana's democracy. Speaking at a debate of chiefs and people of Odumase in the Menya Krobo district as part of his thank you tour of the Eastern region, Nana Akufo-Addo reiterated his commitment to fulfilling the promises he made before the December 7 general elections.
Nana Akufo-Addo was in the Eastern region together with the Vice President-elect, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, other party stalwarts and national executives. He appealed for the full support of the chiefs and people of Odumase so that together the NPP government can rapidly develop Kroboland and improve the living standards of the people. On the creation of jobs for the youth, Nana Akufo-Addo assured them that the one district, one factory policy is going to be implemented. Nana Akufo-Addo also thanked the chiefs and people of the region for their tremendous support for the NPP, resulting in the party increasing both its share of votes astronomically and gaining more parliamentary seats.
The last leg of my thank you tour has brought me here to the Kroboland to give me the opportunity to thank you as well. You played an important part in the victory. And that is why my colleagues and I are here this morning. This election has been truly historic. For the first time in the 24-year era of the Fourth Republic, the MPP has won a seat in Kroboland in the Upper Manya constituency.
The corner of Manya Krobo traditional area, Nene Sakiti II, appealed to the president-elect that Manya Krobo needs his help to use the human and economic resources to enhance development.
Your Excellency, Manya Krobo, long years of genuine request for an additional administrative district. It was the former Excellency President Kufuor and the MPP who saw the need and honestly granted Upper Manya district. I speak the voice of the people of Manya Krobo when I promise that you shall receive all the cooperation and our love.
From Odumase, the president-elect took his thank you tour to the Kwewu area, where he met the chiefs and people of Kwewu.
Private sector, private sector, private sector. That's the Kwewu people, is the private sector. What can say? She say, I did it. She say, I'm not one papa. So you said, and number four, and I can't be you have picture of my message to Abagana. That's why I'm a mobile. I'm a mobile crowd. I teach castle, so come there. The amount sisters are living.
He pledged not to disappoint them for supporting him, saying, though the task was enormous, he will give it his best shot.
Still on politics, the MP-elect for South Dai constituency in the Volta region, Roxy Nelson, has assured the people of his constituency that he would not abandon developmental projects that are being executed by the National Democratic Congress government.
Speaking to Metro News, Roxy Nelson Dafiamekpo said he has resolved to continue all projects that were being undertaken by the outgoing NDC government in his constituency. These include water projects, the roads, and other development projects. He said that 90% of the Eastern Corridor Road project is in his constituency, and he will ensure that it is completed. He added that completing other road projects linking communities in the constituency will bring socio-economic development to the area.
The Tudome Township Road, as well as the Tudome to Akpato and the Tudome to Saji Copper Route also done. And so the broader vision is to have the road networks improved, one, to also have educational standards also improved, because the quality of grades that are increasingly coming out of the constituency or the district is deteriorating by the year. So I intend to put in measures to arrest the deteriorating academic performance and to improve upon it.
The MP-elect also said that one of the things he has to do is to solve the numerous chieftaincy challenges, which he said are hampering development in his constituency.
Away from that story, the Public Affairs Director of the Ghana Police Service, Superintendent Sivas Arthur, has stated that though the festive season is not over yet, the Ghana Police Service has not recorded a high number of crime-related issues. He made this known to Metro News.
The Director of Public Affairs made mention of how Ghana Police Service, in collaboration with other security agencies such as the military, were deployed to strategic areas across the capitals of the country to reduce crime. Even though Operation Father Christmas, which is rolled out annually, was delayed this year due to the electioneering period, Superintendent Sifas Arthur says the police administration has still been able to handle this periodically.
The first half of the Xmas festivities has come to an end without any much incident yet. We are still proceeding with the program or the Operation Father Christmas. It is still in force, and we are awaiting the new year also. And it's our hope that it will still be in force until even early February. Okay. Because just after the new year, we are also going to enter into the inauguration of the new president.
He, however, says all is not done yet and that they are going to involve the Marine and detectives. He urged the public to cultivate the habit of memorizing the police emergency numbers to help them combat crime in the country.
We haven't recorded any serious incident that has the potential of stalling or marring the festivities yet. It's our prayer that at the end of it, we shouldn't record any such incident.
The Director of Public Affairs, Superintendent Sifas Arthur, used the platform to caution the public to be vigilant of their surroundings.
In just 2 days, from December 24 to 26, 141 accident cases have occurred nationwide. This, according to the Motor Traffic and Transport Department of the Ghana Police Service, is due to overspeeding, excessive alcohol consumption, and generally the inappropriate use of roads by pedestrians that is typical of any festive season. But the director in charge of education and training at the MTTD says more needs to be done to save the lives of Ghanaians.
Out of the 141 reported cases of varying crashes within the 25th and 26th December, 20 people lost their lives, while 132 of them were injured. The Greater Accra region alone recorded 57 accident cases within the period. Although this figure is a marginal decline from that recorded in 2015, the police say they are still on guard.
Police deployment also is so visible and saturated that particularly where we are needed most in police urban jurisdictions, regional capitals and major towns, particularly the city centers and town centers, where traffic normally compounds. You realize that a lot of police officers are deployed and directing, controlling, and guiding road users.
The frenzy that drives the Christmas festivities often causes drivers and road users to misbehave, but the director in charge of education, research and training at the Motor Traffic and Transport Department is advising Ghanaians to celebrate with caution while using the roads in an appropriate fashion.
And continue to admonish road users to be more careful, particularly vehicle owners, that they should not rest on our oars and continue to maintain their vehicles, and either their drivers themselves or they should admonish those who are driving their vehicles, apart from maintenance, to drive with caution and moderate the use of this speeds.
The Okada business is gradually gaining prominence, and just this period alone, 38 crashes have been reported. The police is fully armed to deal with miscreants who illegally use these motorbikes, increasing the death toll.
Road traffic crash outcomes is a clear warning that we can deceive ourselves and to some extent make it difficult for the enforcement of motorcycle laws. But its impact and the spirit of the road law is still manifest.
The police further warned that anyone found guilty will be dealt with accordingly. They are hopeful that 2017 will see a further decline in road accidents if all hands are on deck.
You're still watching News Night from our studios here at Labone. Let's go for a breather. Don't go away. Hello again, welcome back to News Night with me, Josephine Oppong-Yeboah. In other news, it's exactly a week after fire gutted the Louis Gas fuel station, which spread through the entire stretch of the Teshin-Chado Road. Reports indicate that about 9 people lost their lives and many others suffered various degrees of injuries during that fatal incident. Metro TV's Eugenia Akofakome went back to the scene and has filed the following reports.
Started as a normal Thursday, the 22nd of December for residents and workers in Teshin-Chado and its environs, turned out to be their worst nightmare.
Ni full ma boy sam ke famdi ni mo se politan ke ni na ke no ko gbe woni gbe la ke tai ona la ke tai wo si yan ko boys ko yen fu mi du fu ke ni ame se si yan ko agbene ni e chola e fi anu ba chun ni enyo se e fi anu ba chun ni enyo se.
The area had been consumed by the inferno.
I worked as a journalist for a couple of years. I've been to Israel, on the border where they're fighting and explosions. I'm used to stuff like that. But the kind of explosion that happened, when I came out, I thought the world had come to an end because it was like fire was dropping everywhere.
Ni explode kajeneke. Ni la ejeneke ke butins abese mi e bon ke ba. Eni koyo ba jemeje ni la follow.
As firemen fought hard to salvage the situation, victims fought hard to stay alive.
Tijane shishi mechini nsa ho nyina. Ade no cry family hana e me nwanwa se menimu anyeshu.
A week after that Black Thursday, the affected persons are still counting their losses.
This roof we just put out in less than a week before this thing happened. Brand new. You see how it's melted. That is the force of the heat. It is melting something like this. So you can imagine why people here were so severely burnt.
This is one of the oldest business hubs in Ghana. It is the Aid to Artisans Ghana. It was built in the 1980s and was funded by the United States Agency for International Development. A few days ago, all forms of art and craft materials were on sale. But today, it lies in ruins, and it has become a mere shadow of itself. The pain is unbearable, and the trauma cannot be described.
Life is very tragic. Anything can happen, nothing is fine.
The remains of the gas station and part of the Trade Fair Center has only left sour taste in the mouth of residents and, more sadly, the victims. Passers-by are now left to wonder what's next.
Eugenia Akofa-Kume filed that report. Meanwhile, government has donated an amount of 200,000 Ghana cedis and pharmaceutical products to victims of last Thursday's explosion at La in Accra. The Minister for Health, Alex Segbefia, who made the donation, commended health workers, personnel of the National Fire Service and the Security Service for their prompt response to the incident.
The 37 Military Hospital, Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, the La General Hospital and the police hospitals were saddled with patients who had sustained various degrees of injury during last Thursday's fire outbreak in the La Township. In fulfillment of its promise, government has come to their aid. An amount of 200,000 Ghana cedis was donated to the hospitals to help cater for the cost of treatment.
Because 37 military hospital had the maximum number of victims that were assigned from the incident, they take the greatest portion of the money that is available currently. And so a check for 125,000 Ghana cedis is going to be given to the 37 military hospital. A further check of 50,000 is given to the La General Hospital because they also had quite a few of the victims. Korle Bu Teaching Hospital gets an amount of 15,000 Ghana cedis, and the police hospital, which is dealing mostly with outpatients, except one inpatient, gets an amount of 10,000.
They were also supported with pharmaceutical products. Speaking on behalf of his colleagues, the officer in charge of the medical stores and equipment depot at the 37 military hospital was thankful for the gesture, but appealed for more support.
It will go a long way to help us to ensure that the victims are properly catered for. I also want, in that regard, to appeal to all present here, the media, to at least make it known to all that are concerned that we still need more assistance.
The Minister of Health showered praises on the incumbent and the incoming president for showing grave concern.
The President of the Republic of Ghana, President John Mahama, visited the victims of the incidents at 37, and I'm also aware that the President-elect also visited the victims. As I've already said, with regard to issues under this ministry, political color does not play. The victims of incidents of this nature are not victims because of belonging to a church, a mosque, or a political party.
He also assured of government's continuous support to the victims.
Business news is coming up next after this breather. Don't go away. Time now for business news. The Ghana's producer price inflation PPI for November 2016 has reached 11.9% from the 9.7% recorded in October. This represents a 1.2% increase in the PPI figure recorded between the one-month period. According to the Ghana Statistical Service, the utility subsector recorded the highest year-on-year inflation of 38.3%. It was followed by mining and quarry subsectors, which represents 19.4%. Meanwhile, the manufacturing sector recorded the lowest PPI, which is 4.9% in November this year. Acting government statistician Bawadier, who announced the figures, further stated that 10 out of the 16 major food crops in the manufacturing subsector recorded inflation rate higher than the sector average of 4.9%. Also, manufacturing of wood and coke recorded the highest inflation rate of 48.1%, while manufacturing of basic metals recorded the lowest producer price inflation rate of negative 0.8%. However, the producer inflation rate in the petroleum subsector has increased from negative 33.6% in November 2015 to negative 0.2% in November 2016. The producer price index measures the average change over time in the prices received by domestic producers for the production of their goods and services. In news across our borders, Russian President Vladimir Putin says an agreement has been reached on a countryside ceasefire for Syria, with Russia and Turkey to act as guarantors. He said the truce would begin at midnight on Thursday and will be followed by peace talks between Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's government and the Syrian opposition in the Kazakh capital Astana. And this is where we draw the curtains on News Night. It came to you from our studios here at Labone. It returns again tomorrow, same time, 7:30 to 8 p.m. My name is Josephine Oppong-Yeboah. Thanks a bunch for watching. Have a good evening.